They've been equipped with the understanding of what you can and can't handle, so you'll never have to over-explain the things that pain you. So cynicism won't save you, and these days are getting darker, so you're going to need good folk who are willing to hunker down with you in the war room. You're going to need shelter from the storm and warmth from something that you don't always have to perform for. And while you need rest in the community these days, you're also going to need something that you're willing to fight for. So if you read or if you hear this, I wish you love.
Valentine's Day. I always get a gift with backwards from my mom and my stepdad. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's like a rose houseplant. I love it.
If it means that I won't get to face you again, I'd rather go to space with no space to. If it means I can't face you, I'd rather go to space with no space to.
So, today I'm gonna get into fried green tomatoes first. And then I'm gonna get into the Wishes of Eastwick second. I don't know why I'm chopping, because we're chopping it up. I cover myself. Alright, so fried green tomatoes was really, really cute. And I didn't really see how the love story was gonna come about when I first started it. I had heard about fried green tomatoes a bunch of times, but I had never really wanted to watch it. And so I finally decided to watch Fried Green Tomatoes, and I was pleasantly surprised. So it starts out, we meet Ruth and Iggy. So Ruth was actually Iggy's brother's love interest, but then Iggy's brother passed, and it was really, really sad. I'm not going to go into it because you just need to watch it, and you need to cry, and you need to get the full effect. And me telling you what happens is not gonna allow you to get the full effect of Iggy's brother's passing and how much it affected her and Ruth. And in a way, how much it was the cause of bringing them together. So, of course, when Iggy's brother dies, she becomes very reclusive. She is always in the woods. She doesn't want to talk to anybody, and this and that. So the mother invites Ruth to come visit them and come hang out with Iggy, or Tawanda, because that's her real name, Tawanda. I don't know where the heck they got Iggy from, and I don't know why Miss Girl's name is Tawanda. But they're from the South. This is in the South, so that is just their name, I guess. Tawanda. So, yeah, so Iggy kind of like brings out Ruth's bad girl, you know? They go and they're kind of like Robin Hood and things, stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, you know? They're doing stuff like that. And then the summer ends and Ruth has to leave. So Ruth leaves after she has this beautiful summer with Iggy, and we kind of get like the beginning of their love story. And it's never said that it's a love story between them, but you can tell like these two are falling in love. And then so Ruth leaves, and then after Ruth leaves, Iggy goes to visit her one day. Iggy stays away for a long time, for years, and then she goes to visit Ruth. And then she's like, she goes to visit Ruth. I think she brings her some honey. There is this beautiful, adorable little scene where she gets honey for Ruth before she left. You'll have to see that on your own too. It's just really cute. This movie will just have you smiling. It'll have you grinning, smiling, like, eating your popcorn. It was really cute. And I know it's been out forever. I just never had any interest and watching anybody's fried green tomatoes, but I love it. And I actually do like fried green tomatoes, like as a food. I like fried green tomatoes. I love Southern food. So I did enjoy the cooking in this movie, and I also enjoyed the love story aspect of this movie. So when Izzy went to go visit Ruth and realized that Ruth wasn't being treated correctly by that man, she went off. She went off and she became Tawanda. She became Tawanda, okay? And it was so cute to see her stick up for her girl, you know. And then she took Tawanda, oh, not Tawanda, she took Ruth right with her. They left, they took Ruth. They had her pack up her stuff, and they took her. And when they took Ruth, of course, she was pregnant. And then she has the baby, and everybody's happy, you know. They're serving up fried green tomatoes. They're raising the baby together. They're like putting jam on each other's faces. It's just really cute. And so all the while, I completely forgot about the other storyline. There's like 2 storylines. So Izzy and Ruth's storyline is the past, a story from the past being told by Ninny. And I find out later that Ninny, the whole time, I thought Ninny was Izzy. And I thought that maybe she had forgotten she was Izzy, because I thought that she would just speak in the third person, and she was like, oh, I knew this woman named Izzy, and all Izzy did this and Izzy did that. But no, this Ninny was actually Izzy's brother's wife. And when you watch the movie, and it's a book, so I would actually recommend reading the book because it probably makes more sense. But I'm having to think a hard time reviewing this movie because there's so much story time. There's so much background information to it. So it's hard to like, because I don't want to give all the details away. But yeah. So Ninny is in the nursing home telling the story about Izzy and Ruth, telling Izzy and Ruth's story. So let's get on my fingers. So Ninny is in the nursing home. This is the present. And Evelyn is visiting Ninny in the nursing home. This is in the present. And Ninny is telling a story about Izzy, also known as Tawanda, and Ruth. Ninny in the present, Izzy, Ruth in the past. And Evelyn is who Ninny is telling this story to. Because when I watched it, I was like, oh, Ninny is Izzy. No. And I had to do some research. That's why I say look at the book first, because I was confused throughout the movie. Because there was a scene at the beginning of the movie, and it said, she said something like everybody wanted Izzy's brother. And I'm thinking that Ninny is Izzy. And I'm like, that's a little odd. But it was nothing like that. So I think it would be helpful to read before in this instance. Yeah, sometimes books translate to movies really well, and sometimes some of the very important details get kind of lost. And I think another aspect of this movie that I really like, and I'm not gonna go on to explain like the whole movie because I don't want to spoil everything. I'm just gonna continue to talk about like what I liked about it or whatever. I just thought it was really cute. I thought that this was a really accepting town for that time period, very accepting of LGBTQIA relationships. Because I can't remember what exact year it was, because I don't know, they had Sister Tyson in the movie, and she was kind of like a she was a maid for Tawanda's family. And then I think they had, what was his name? I think I wrote it in my notes, maybe I didn't. Was his name John, Big John, or something like that? It was something like that. That was his name. And so we find out that Big John, not Big John, Cicely Tyson's character, Miss Otis, was living with Nenny, who is not Iggy. It's just a lot. But the point I was trying to make was, this was really, sorry, like I got a new tattoo and it's like a little, let me stop touching it. Anyway, so the point that I'm trying to make is, this was a really progressive town. And I really respected that. Because they just kind of let Ruth and Iggy be in love. And when the Klan came, because the Klan did come, but there was no Klan in their town. The Klan came from out of town because that man told his Klan members about Ruth and Iggy and their cafe and everything. It was just it was a beautiful town. And they stuck together, they protected each other. There wasn't a lot of like, this is only for white people, is only for black people. There wasn't a lot of stuff like that in the town. It was kind of just like a really strong, protective community. And it was really beautiful in that way. And yeah, I thought it was just really progressive. So yeah, there's a little bit about the Klan in there, and there's a little bit of course, when they go to court, everyone who was black had to sit like at the top of the courtroom, like in their own section, and everybody who was white got to sit like down at the bottom of the courtroom. So there was stuff like that in it, but for the most part, it was just a really cute love story told by a really sweet older woman named Nenny. And it was also about Evelyn, who was being told the story, kind of getting her pink back, as the girls say, getting her groove back, as Stella would say, you know. She just learned a lot from Nenny and learned a lot from the example of Iggy / Tawanda. And she just kind of grew as a woman. And it was a really nice story. I don't know if I explained that well. I might need to retake this. I'm trying to keep this up because I like doing it. I'm just so busy right now. But I'll replay it back and see if I like it. I don't know yet. Anyway, so yeah, I'd give that movie a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It was really, really cute. You should watch it. So the next movie I watched was, see, I told you I'm tired. My brain is doing 1,000 things and I can't remember the name of it. Witches of Eastwick. Mind you, I just watched that movie. I just finished that movie this morning. So why I can't remember the name of the movie, I don't know. But anyway, so Witches of Eastwick, I feel like had a lot to do with divine feminine energy. It had a lot to do with divine feminine energy and just how much power women have, you know. And even the man in the movie, the bad guy, so to speak, he describes women as the source of all power. And a woman blooms through separation from men. And he was talking about how there was these 3 characters. I think it was Suki, Alex, and Jane. Which one was Cher? Cher was Alex. So if you want to see Cher in the 80s, watch this movie. She's serving. Very cute. And then, so they're wanting like a man. They're wanting someone, like a man, to come save them. A man to come, just give them some attention, give them some love, pick them off their feet. You know, they're just looking for a man. And so they describe this man of being handsome and tall, and he arrives on a horse and all this stuff. And then this man comes into town. He's not handsome. He's not very tall. He's just a man. He's just a man. And then so there's so much, like, the movie gets into intuition a lot, and how much power that we have the potential to unlock as human beings, or specifically as women, a lot. And I thought that it just gave so many lessons. So I already talked about women are the source of all power. The man said that, and a woman blooms through separation. But what is he trying to do? He's trying to gain control of these women and join with them and link with them and kind of like create soul ties with them. And he's trying to get them to have his kids and things like that. But he acknowledges from the very start that women bloom from separation from man. So that was red flag number 1. And then there's this woman, her name is Felicia. And she's having all of these visions. And her intuition is going off, like something is wrong with this man. Something is really wrong with this man, and he's gonna do something really bad. And the second she has the idea to warn Suki, Alex, and Jane about this man that they're talking to and they're getting close with and kind of coupling up with this man, she gets killed by a man. And like, she was like throwing up cherries and stems. Like, he was having the women, Alex and Cher and Jane and Suki, and I didn't butcher that, but he was giving them cherries. And then Felicia, who had all these visions about how bad this man was, about his kind of like warlockness, she starts coughing up the seeds from the cherries that he was having the woman eat. And you just kind of like, yeah, this man is evil. This man is pure evil. Okay. And then there's this point in the movie when the women decide to take a step back from him. They decide to leave him. He gets uglier and crinklier. His inner demon starts popping out of his skin. His nails get all long. His hand gets all veiny and furry. And he starts growling at the TV screen, just watching them through the TV screen, kind of like a crystal ball TV screen. And he starts putting curses on them and making them hurt, and like making snakes crawl on them, and all because they pulled their energy from him. Yeah. And the whole way that he got these women to be with him was that he built them up. And when he started to get rejected and he started to feel inferior, he started to break them down to get the women to be with him. Now, if that isn't a lesson on real life, I don't know what is. These are real life tactics. Scary. But yeah, I enjoyed these movies. I enjoyed them. They were both really good movies. I'd say watch them. I'd say they have pretty good endings. I'd say Fragrance and Tomatoes has kind of a sad aspect to it. I'm not gonna say that, but the love story is really beautiful. And I love to see a love story set in the time period that it was set in. Witches of Eastwick, that was just that was a lesson. It was a lesson. And Witches of Eastwick is one of those movies that I wish I would have seen and analyzed when I was younger. Because there's so much to it. There's so many, then I'm not gonna say they're hidden lessons. They're not really hidden. They're just there. You have to just read them and accept what you're seeing. So art imitates life. And the way that man was acting, those are real tactics. Thank you. Good night.